up, folks? I love you so much. My name is Ronald Seaman. I hope you love this silhouette look. Hey, take a look at me. I look sexy in this silhouette look. Anyhow, welcome to this vlog one more time. My name is Ronald Seaman, and it's always a great pleasure hosting you here. And I always love using the analogy of hovering over the so many YouTube channels and decide to come onto this one. Of all the so many YouTube channels with myriads of content, you choose to come here. I'd love to thank Arins, Bensound, not forgetting Fizal Mostrixx for the great music that they give me. And today I'm going to be talking about 21st century slavery. I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back. My name is Ronald Seaman. For those of you who missed my introduction when I came in here, I'm the son of a gun. The guy that is not afraid of talking about certain things. I think they will land me into trouble, but hey, in the movie Lord of War starring Nicolas Cage, it says the calamity comes when upright men do not stand up to evil. And today I'm talking about 21st century slavery. Now, when the white man or Arabs, the intruders basically, when they came to Africa, they came with shackles. But when they left after they had indoctrinated or imbued into us a traditional social shackle system, kind of. And we find ourselves working like slaves, living like slaves, and we never get to realize. So I'd love to pose a couple of questions. How different is your workstation from that place that when a slave was got from inland Africa was chained to? How different is it? Under the pretext of your desk? Because if your boss does not find you there, seated there at a specific time, then either you're not working, you're not in the right place, and you will get reprimanded. All right. Every morning, you find people waking up at around 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock going to work. The domesticated places, the places where people live domestically, all of them, you find that the cars, the traffic moving out of those places is really, really heavy going into the office places at the same time. And then even in the evening, you find the same traffic, this time moving back. How different is that from a slave line? In Kiswahili, it used to be called fuata nyayo. Follow the line. It's a yoke, chains. So you go in at the same time. Of course, no people were yoked facing each other. All of them faced a certain direction, and all of them faced a certain direction back. So how different is that from slavery? Is it because you dress in a tie? So, my friend, slavery is real. Some of you wake up in the morning and think that because you have this job that is paying you decently, that you're not a slave. But one thing you should understand, I was listening one time to a conversation by friends who work with international agencies, and they were talking about how hard they work for their money. They might think that they're getting paid very decently, but they work very hard for their money. And one of them said, do you realize that you cannot leave your job, or you have no option of leaving your job? Just imagine your son is pulled out of the international school. For those of you who've never been to Africa, there are schools that are called international schools that run the Western, the British school curriculum. So some parents who can afford or maybe have prospects of sending their children to the States or to Britain or wherever it is, they choose to put their children into those schools. I think it's a way of cutting to the chase, because when they are put into the American or British school, they're going to maybe have to reteach them something. So it's better to always put them into that kind of system, so that when they leave here, the certification is in sync with where they would love to pursue careers. So they put their children into such schools. And then this guy was saying, do you realize that you cannot live this kind of lifestyle and pull your son out of that school and put them into the ordinary public school? But do you realize also that that is slavery? When you get, actually it's more than slavery. To me, it is being treated like fish. So it's more bait, and you're there because of a lifestyle. Unafuata nyayo usiku na mchana, every morning and evening. You're there following the chain, the yokes. You hear the hoods, pop 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 pop, and all of them are in the chain, and all of them are going, just like the slaves used to sing, joka 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 joka, and all of them resound the same song. Guys, you're big slaves. Oh my God. That's why on a day like this one, I stick around, forgive my shabby look, and I do my laundry. They're all clean, sparkling. Yeah, I did my laundry. I'm no slave. I choose to work when I please. No one is going to hold me bait and tell me, hey, because of this lifestyle, you're going to be here. And if you do not adhere to this kind of policies at work, then you're going to be fired and lose a lifestyle. I love my simple lifestyle. All right? So guys, every time you go to work and it is 10 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and there might not be literal bell, but you look at the clock, oh, it's time for lunch, and you find people all walking out for lunch at the same time. You are slaves. There's no difference between you and slaves. There was time for them to shower, for them to eat, time for them for treatment, time for marking, time for going to the market to be sold. Oh boy, all these things exist. You fall sick, you have to ask for permission. Oh God, you guys are slaves with a lot of money on you. That is it. So I get down to understanding. By the way, the song I sang belongs to Eric Wainaina, and kudos, man. I love that song. It's called Joka Joka, and it's a very, very good song. Some of you should listen to that song. You really hear slaves, yelelele, joka jo, yelelele, joka jo, yelele. Anyway, now where I live in Uganda, I never like contaminating my vlogs with domestic issues of the country I come from. Not because that I'm not proud of my country. I'm so proud of being Ugandan, but time will come when I'll talk about them. They're so annoying that sometimes I never want to talk about them. Now, in our country, we are one of those countries that have been denied a minimum wage. Now, some time back, a certain radio station gets up and during the lockdown chooses to cut people's salaries by 25% off with no explanation. And when the employees came up and asked why, they gave them a week to explain. There was no explanation, and they had a sit-down strike. When they had their sit-down strike, they were fired with impunity, full of conceit. Can you imagine? Anyway, those are Indians. And someone is going to start maybe thinking that I'm racist. But hey, that's how Indians behave in Uganda. I do not know about other places, but I understand even in Kenya, Indians are so pathetic people. So that's how they behave. So I'm not so surprised. So they fire them. I don't know if they filed for a case or not, but it was really, really horrible. And having a despotic government, careless government, it has never even come up to raise a finger to that. So that's where I go to the employees. You guys who have succumbed to slavery, if you feel that you still want to work, if you feel that these guys are doing you a favor and you don't realize that you work with them and you have failed to understand that you're no more slave, they are supposed to work with you, then this is some advice that you have to take. Every time you sit down for, what should I call it, negotiation for a job or wage that you're supposed to be getting, learn how to fight and make sure that you benefit best. You enjoy your work. Remember, I was seated one time with a friend of mine who told me there's a difference between work and a job. Work is something that you do, just like I'm doing a vlog right now. I'm going to go ahead and I'll edit it and do all those things, and I'm not paid. And I'll do it. It's work. I love doing it. A job is an obligation. So be it for work, be it for an obligation, but it's always better to go and do work. Work. Do something for someone in the context of work, not as a job. So my friend, I would love also to throw a stone at the employers, those conceitful employers, bad-mannered employers. Guys, today it's mine, tomorrow it's you. Watch what you do to people. Be good to the people on your way up the ladder, because you meet them on your way down. You meet them on your way down. So my friend, then also I go back to the people that are being employed. Guys, you have to learn how to value yourself. You have to put your value onto the table and always avoid being exploited and always being abused and always, I mean, you render a service. You render a service. So stop being stepped on. You are no longer slaves. Just because you wear designer clothes, you think you're no longer slaves. But hey, my friend, the way that you're treated is slavery. When COVID came, it taught us that you can still be productive at home. Why do you have to always be into the rat race, into that chain? Why do you have to be into that nyayo, that line? Why do you always have to get into that traffic jam every morning and sing Joka, 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 and you hear the hoots, pip, pip? Why do you have to sit at that concrete place that you get chained under the pretext of your workstation or desk? Can't you do that at your house, at your home? Can't you do that? We have the internet. Guys, wake up. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free ourselves. Now, I conclude with, I don't know how I should call him. These guys are really weird. There's this guy also that hears that his fellow black people, fellow citizens have been fired in a bad way, in an abusive way, and he chooses to take the job. Where I come from, they say that if you live in a polygamous home and you see a flog that was used maybe yesterday to flog your stepmother, throw it over the hedge. Because tomorrow, you never know which of your father's wives is going to cross him. It might be your mother. And they'll use that flog that you did not throw away over the hedge to flog your own mother. So Salvador, I'll be waiting for that time when your mother gets flogged, when your ass gets fired. Yeah. You don't have straight hair, you don't have a yellow skin. For crying out loud, you have curly, tight hair and a flat nose. If you love what I'm talking about, give it a thumbs up. And if you'd love to leave a comment, hey, leave it down in the comment section down below. And if you feel that what I've talked about is really burning and annoying and you would love to give it a thumbs down, hey, give it to me. And if you don't give it to me, for what I just talked about, I'll give it to myself like this.